Let's talk about an all too common situation for a lot of folks when the rug gets pulled out from under you and suddenly you're facing a housing instability crisis. Larry, we had a conversation in our sphere written about potentially becoming homeless because their only current housing, a parent's place, might be going away because of their parents' declining health. Lots of emotions, but also many practical questions.
And that would be a very tough scenario for registrants. To begin with, housing can already feel nearly impossible, and it can be almost impossible. And add to that, losing your primary support like a parent, and you're looking at a really serious crisis. But I want to frame this up a little bit because it's not rare. If you're a PFR, the deck is already stacked. Restrictions, social stigma, many times employment limitations, what you can't do. And then you add that with a major life event like a parent passing away or gets sick. You go from barely stable to potentially being homeless and roaming around the streets almost immediately.
Now let's zoom out for a second. One of the top ideas on this was that basically, I know how scary this is because it's happening to me too. What are the first things that someone should do, even while they're still under the roof, to prepare for the possibility of losing their housing?
Even if you're not even sure that it's going to happen, you need to try to have a contingency plan. Take inventory of what you have in the way of resources, find out what the legal restrictions are in your state and county and local community. And unfortunately, some shelters are just straight up off limits to registrants, even if you've never had any issues. So you can't rely on emergency shelter, because you may be forbidden.
And people outside the community might not get that. And for a lot of folks, the advice would be, well, go to a shelter, like you just said. But for PFRs, that can be illegal.
Or even if it's not illegal, they decline you like they do here. I thought we had a progressive city, and I called around to a couple of the shelters here, and they do a PFR check. Some cities have ordinances that put entire swaths of the city of zip codes off limits. So start by checking your state registry laws, restrictions. If you have a probation officer or parole officer, reach out to them. And yes, I know not everyone has a great PO, but they need to know that you're at risk for homeless.
Well, how about we talk about money? Because the question of SSI or SSDI would often come up in this conversation.